All right. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. While I adjust here. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. For those who are new here, my name is Enigma. I'm a streamer. I stream on Twitch, Twitter, Rumble, and YouTube right now. Uh, on your way in, do me a favor and smash that follow button. Twitch, Twitter, and Rumble. Subscription on YouTube would be great as well. Rumble and YouTube are my primary focuses right now. If you're on Rumble, if you're on YouTube, also smash the like. Leave a comment if you want to. Share my stuff. Let people know that I am here. It'll really help me grow and get better at what I am doing. And that would mean a lot to me to have your help and your support. We are playing Castlevania Circle of the Moon, the black sheep of the Igavania games. This is one of the few games that Iga has said he struck from canon. Because it was it didn't turn out the way he intended it to. So we are going through that on our Castlevania journey we've been doing lately. I do love me a good Metroidvania. I don't know about anybody else, but saw it happen. I still let it happen. There we go, got him down. We did So 10 yesterday, we did Bloodstained last week. So, had a lot of fun doing those. Oh, crap. Didn't see that sword. There we go. We're still fairly early on. If we take a look at our thing here, it says we're 43% done with the map now. Okay, I thought we were still kind of early. I like levels up. I'll take those. Yep, just took a hit. These swords are a pain in the ass. Damn. Yeah, and the dolls curse you, so. I don't like where this is going at all. I'll take the safe spot, though. Dang, sorry about that. These swords are too fast, and I just got cursed. You are cursed. I got Danhausen. I got Danhausen. There we are. Oh. Oh, come on. What a dick. Okay, can't get to that box yet. Alright. Aware Panther. Well, that sucked. When they rush, you gotta jump back. Otherwise, you got them. Go back and heal. Every little bit helps. Alright. So this was a Game Boy Advance launch title, believe it or not. And I was excited to see they had gone back to the Metroidvania formula. They had not done any Metroidvanias really after Symphony until this. I was really excited when they did this. I was really looking forward to playing this. I was very, 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 very happy to get to play it. And when it came out, I was pleasantly surprised. Unfortunately, the only one who thought that was probably me. Iga did not. Iga, the guy who basically put the Metroidvania genre on the map, did not like this game. He didn't think they did a good enough job, so they have stricken it from Castlevania lore. It's not officially part of canon. See, that's just bullshit. Hey, wait a minute. Where'd you come from? Okay. I was trying to get out of the way. That's not going to work. I have to find another save spot. I don't like that when that happens. I might eat it here. I hope not. Whoa! Sucked. I should probably see about, where are we? Let's see about experience. 3740 seems like a lot. What's the matter, Whisk? Good, good. Even if we only didn't get that far, we still got to recover and save all that experience points we had. I'm completely on board with experience points. I'm a big believer in experience points. He still managed to hit me. That guy's a pain in the ass. I don't like the way that goes at all. See, that first whip shot should have had him. It's kind of nuts. Kind of nuts. Oh, come on. Let that guy go. All right. Huh. So Nathan here is wielding the vampire killer whip. The problem with it is he's not very good at it. And that's where we kind of have a little bit of an issue here. He can only swing it in one direction. So it really kind of removes the need for him. The only thing he can do is swing it like this, And they can, if you hold the button down, he'll swing it around. That'll help you with projectiles and little things like that. But as far as, is it really, is it he fluid with it as other games with the whip, like Symphony, I'm sorry, Castlevania 4? The answer is no. He's very tanky with the way he controls and the way he attacks. He can only go in one direction. He's kind of deliberate with it. That's what happens. Ah, didn't you see where it's coming down? Of course, I had to take 2 more hits to knock his ass down, stooge. Oh, I'm being raided. Hi, Yarn Witch! Or is it they're not here yet? I don't quite know how it works. Maybe I have to wait for that thing to run out. But I am being raided. Hey, come on, guys. Stop. You guys are assholes. Got you down. There we go. You see, I'm already dead almost. What the hell? What's up with that? Alright, point taken, point taken. Let's go back and recover. There we go. Hey everybody, welcome in from the raid from Yarn Witch. Thank you, Yarny, love ya. For those who are not in the know, my name is Enigma. I'm a variety streamer, Twitch, Twitter, Rumble, and YouTube. On Rumble, go ahead and smash that follow button on the way in and the like button. I mean that a lot. It means a lot to me to help get my name out there in that algorithm. Right. Oh, goodness. How was your stream, Yarny? I hope it was good. You're early for you. Usually you're not that early. Ah! Jump up. Oh, that actually worked out a little better than usual. That didn't. Still whip him good. Ah, you dick. Thank you, Yarny. I'm glad you. Thank you so much for the raid. I hope whatever you got going on goes by with the very best. Come on, you. Come on, come on. Yep. See. That's probably what I gotta do is jump. Oh well, or something. For anyone who's on my side who is not following Yarn Witch on all major platforms, really needs to. She is an absolute sweetheart. Even though she got a mouth like a sailor, she will definitely welcome you in. She's a wonderful person. Well, at least we're getting experience. I feel like that's what we're kind of lacking right now because these things are kicking my ass. I realize there's a pattern there too. That the were-panthers are the ones that are the nasty ones, but we can continue leveling and getting our strength up a little bit. Hey, you. I think we'll be alright. There we are. Every little bit helps. Right, Whiskey? Whiskey's a good boy. He's laying right here with me today. At least for now. Whiskey is He's a sentient dog, and when he gets tired of laying with me, he gets too warm or whatever, he'll go off and find himself a sunbeam or whatever. If we get a sunbeam today. I can't compete with a sunbeam for a dog. That's just all there is to it. If he sees a sunbeam, that's his sunbeam. Oh, you dick! You just punched me all the way halfway across the screen like that? Ah. See what I mean about his whip being very deliberate and slow? He is not skilled with it. So he is quite a bit slower with it than you would see with other Belmonts in the game. Technically, Nathan is not a Belmont, so he's happy to be there. Here we go. Knock you down. And that puts us at 49 and 51. So we are gaining some XP from this. Takes him down. It does have range, but that's about all it has. There we go, that's a little better. That wasn't. Oh, I thought I hit him third time. I guess not. Of course, Castlevania way games work with the Metroidvanias here. We need to we do have to take time to grind. The game can be very unforgiving when it comes to your stuff, you know, your the way that you might feel like you're 10 foot tall and bulletproof, and the next thing you know, you get to a new area like this, and they just start whipping your ass. That's not bad. This is where we were, right? Yep. Wall jump here. Oop, well, I'm going to try to. Okay. Crap. There we go. Okay. Crap! The Gorgon Bull. Hold on, let's go back here. I need that curse to wear off. Okay, it is worn off. Oops. Problem with Nathan is he does control like a tank. That's the problem, is that he doesn't have the durability of a tank. Oh, I'll take that. But he definitely attacks like one and moves like one. So you have to be very deliberate. With where you're going and what you want to do. He does not have great maneuverability skills. Looks like we come out from there. It's kind of useless, but whatever. I mean, hearts aren't useless. I shouldn't say it like that, but... Shit. Go, baby. Okay. Got you there. Still managed to hit me. Twice. Bloody swords. Oh no. Look at all the... I was hoping that would be a save spot. Those things are vicious, man. Those bloody swords. Okay, I see that. 14,000 for the level up. Shit. Come on. He still gets a shot in. Oh crap. I'm gonna eat it here if this is, we don't get a save spot soon. Oh, thank God. Woo! See, he should not be that fast. I jumped. That was shit right there. He still gets his shots off. Look at that. All right. I still don't like. No, it's a boss. Let's see. Oh. You okay? Yo, back off. This is my trophy to claim. Ugh. You. I'm gonna go kick its ass. Oh, that's a big sucker. Yeah, we're probably going to lose it here. Probably not strong enough yet. Because I'm just getting Yeah, I got whipped there. Nasty. Oh. God, see that cheap shit? That takes us down to 8,000. Okay, so this isn't too bad of a place to kind of take a little time to get some experience points. Okay, that was not good. Jesus. That sucked. Like, what was up with that? No, 6,000. See, that's bullshit. It's alright, though. We're getting there. We're getting there. All right, that's not too bad. go. Yep. Go get some levels here. Besides taking that shot right there, that was actually probably my best little run right there. Keep taking shots. That wasn't too bad. I don't like getting cheap shot hit like that, but that's what I wanted, and I level up. Typical me. How much now? 17,000. Wow, okay. Okay. It's a wonderful day in the neighborhood. Those werepanthers are a pain in the ass. I can handle the werebears, I can handle the hyenas with very little effort. Those panthers are the little bastards. See, look at that. Little shit can cover that much ground before I can even unfurl the whip. Alright. That might have been my best run with that. And now I'm following it up with one of my worst. Like, that was a pretty good run. Let's see how I can mess that up. It's all good now. We're probably below, about 10,000. So we're not too bad. Okay. Of course, the Werepanthers are probably worth the most because of the biggest pain in the ass. That's usually the way it works. Getting a little close here. See, guys piss me off. 5,000. Damn it. That's not too bad. How close are we? 2,000. I think I can get one more run out of this one. Nope. Yep. There we go. It's a little better. Shit. Time those little bastards. I still got shot. What was up with that? Level up. Let's go save that real quick. I don't want to lose that level up. What level does that take us to? 25. Only 25. I feel like we should be a lot higher than that. Still, I mean, we're starting to get used to those patterns, I guess. He's just too slow. That's the thing. Compared to Alucard in Soten, the animation of him getting the whip out actually is slower than that monster's attack. So that's why it's... With Alucard, it was a little different. Now, Alucard had different versions of weapons he could use, including a whip sword, but it's like if you had a claymore or a two-handed sword, it was a lot slower. But this sucker, not like that. We have no choice but with him. Oh, you're kidding me. That was a lot farther away, I thought, than that. Already on a little under 17. So, what are those worth? Okay, they're worth about 300. So, that's not too bad of a job there to. Do that, no problem. Ah. Yeah, we're doing all right with the experience. Getting some levels here so we can take on that big bastard. Saved. Oh, the thing is, those wearer panthers can be very, very deceptive with the way that they do things. Oop, he's gonna jump. Still hit me. Shit. Well, we just have the werepanther down, and we're under 10,000. I'll take it. I feel like you're about to rush. Yep. See that? Bullshit. Goodness gracious. Just cornered me. Yeah, and he still shot me. Here we go. How close are we now to a level? 6,000. Couldn't be. That was all right. See, it's weird. Sometimes I get a really good pattern on those werepanthers, and they don't do anything. And other times, it's like, what are you doing? Got us down to 30. Huh. Yep, I figured he was close. And now we're down to 2,400. So after we get this next level, we'll go try him again. Sometimes you just have to get a couple levels up to kind of balance the game out a little bit. Oh, 51. We'll get it here. Now put us at 26. Level 26. Figured. Now those bears go down in 2 hits, or 3 hits, I should say. So now we're stronger gonna fall there. Yep, you're gonna get thrown out again. That's what he does. Damn. Okay. I have no idea how many hit points he's got, but damn. Try one more time. Or we'll come down here and still 3 hits on the Were Panthers. Jesus Christ. Yeah, see, the diminishing returns are still happening here, so these guys aren't worth nearly as much. These Were Panthers aren't worth nearly as much as they were. I'm not saying we're not going to have to get another level or two to take that guy on, but... Heh. Wrong. Damn. Can't tell if that's a 99 or 39, but whatever. Strength ring. That's new. Strength goes up. Defense goes down. Intelligence goes down. Strength goes way up. So let's try that. And now they only get hit by twice. Okay, so now with the strength ring, the Panthers only get 2 hits on them. That's far better. Bears still take 3, but they're so slow. Much better. Yeah, that is far quicker. Far quicker. Save that. I don't want to lose that ring. Far quicker of a attack now on these things, because you only have to hit them twice now with that ring. There we go. That's so much better. I don't like the lowering of the defense, but if you're able to take them down that fast. So much easier. And sometimes you just gotta get your levels up a little bit, because you can. One thing about these Metroidvanias, especially the Igavanias, is you get to a point sometimes where if you bum rush everything, you will not have enough experience, enough levels to power your way through the rest through that part of the game that you're at. So sometimes taking a few minutes to do this is very, it behooves you quite a bit. Of course, those bears could drop another one of those rings, and then I would have double. Might be able to take those were-panthers down in one hit then. And if I could do that, that would be very choice. Yeah, and knocking those were-panthers down in less than 3 hits actually makes it a hell of a lot easier. Might not seem like it on the outside, but because they still can get their shots in, they're still unpredictably unfair with that lunge that they do. But even then. Get him to just run right into your whip like that. Not bad. Let's try this guy again now that we've got this strength ring. See if that'll help grease the gears here. Yeah, still not quite. $25. Just see what we get for a run in here. We're about 25,000, a little over 25. So. It's about 1,000 per run. That's not too bad. I still feel. 27. It should be stronger. And we're able just to kind of bowl over most of these. It's not too bad at all. What are those things worth? Marionettes, I don't know what they're worth. Oh, the bloody sword got them down too. Still took a shot. So yeah, this was a launch title for the Game Boy Advance, believe it or not. Back in the day, they were... I really can't explain to you how dominant of a force the Game Boy brand was for Nintendo. It really was a massive, massive success. Game Boy Color, then Game Boy Advance. Despite being technologically outpaced by a lot of their competitors early on, Nintendo offered value and battery life. You know, if you bought an Atari Lynx, yeah, the Atari Lynx was top to bottom a better technologically advanced console than the Game Boy. Absolutely it was, but it also drained a hell of a lot more batteries. It also made things a lot more expensive for the Atari Lynx. And the Game Gear was along the same route, the Sega Game Gear. They were in full color, they had backlit screens. Yeah, everything that they had was technologically the best. But because of things like battery life and because of price and because of things like that, Nintendo was the company that actually carried on and dominated with a huge iron fist at that point. I mean, I cannot stress enough how dominant. I know I read the other day that the Side Scrollers podcast did a poll about game consoles that are so dominant. At N64, we got a lot of votes. Nintendo 64. Nintendo 64 has a lot of nostalgia for a lot of millennials, and I get that, but it was not a successful console. Like, it was the exact opposite of a successful console for Nintendo. Nintendo made a lot of mistakes with that console, and a lot of them they made out of spite. And that's why they got rolled something fierce by Sony. Sony was on a mission. I mean, I don't need to go through the whole story about Sony wanted to bury Nintendo. They wanted to take Nintendo out back of the woodshed and just lay into them and leave them for dead. Yeah, Sega was like the first casualty for the most part of the PlayStation. But in reality, Sony wanted to bury Nintendo. That was their whole thing after they had egg on their face after that disastrous E3 for them, where they showed off the Nintendo PlayStation and Nintendo kind of left them at the altar. It's like, yeah, no, we're not going that direction. So, but they did curb stop the N64, and it was not hard to do, quite frankly, just simply because Nintendo does not like paying licensing fees, okay? That's why they always go with their own formats and things like that. So if everybody is going CD, Nintendo goes cartridge. If everyone's going DVD, Nintendo goes whatever the hell that GameCube disc was called. They do not like paying their competitors in particular for the rights to use technology. So in the case of the compact disc, which is what the PlayStation and the Saturn used, as well as the Dreamcast, Sony was one of the patent holders on compact disc. And when that happened, Nintendo was like, well, we're not going to pay Sony to make our games, so they did their own thing. They made cartridges and all that. The problem was that really hindered them as a company because CDs were so much cheaper to make, and you can get so much more information on a compact disc than you could onto a cartridge. So you're asking your publishers and developers to create better experiences with more expensive technology, more expensive manufacturing costs, and less space on their cartridges, and that really hampered them going forward. There was I really don't, I'm not kidding you here. You could go to your local store and pick up 2 PlayStation games for the same price as one N64 game. That's how bad it was. For Nintendo, because Sony lowered their publishing costs too. So Sony was very shrewd with the way they handled their PlayStation. They were very much about getting their foot in the door and burying competitors. And I mean, basically, Sony would go to your Capcoms and your Konamis and everybody else and say, "Hey, are you tired of the way Nintendo is managing your profitability?" And Nintendo had a lot of oddball things in place where they were trying to protect themselves from being the second Atari. So let's be completely frank here. One of the things that, like for instance on the old Nintendo, you could only, if you founded a company, you know, Joe Blow's Games or whatever, no matter how good of content you might be making for the Nintendo console, they only allowed you to publish under every label, under a label, like 5 games per year. So what you saw was a lot of companies like Konami had the Ultra Games logo, or a game, so they could publish more. You had Konami, and then you had their Ultra Games. So if you look at like Ninja Turtles, if you look at Metal Gear, the original Metal Gear, when they were brought over to the NES, they actually had different. They were 100% Konami games, but they were not. They were not Nintendo. They were not published under Konami. They were published under a completely different brand, which was Ultra Games. And then you had companies like Namco going, "Hey, why don't you let us publish our own games, and then you don't have to worry about. You can publish more games from other people if we were allowed to publish our own stuff." and Nintendo put a kibosh on that because, again, they didn't want to get into Atari situation. Atari, anyone could publish whatever they wanted whenever they wanted to, which is why there were adult games, which is why there were a lot of bad games. There was, if you look at like the Atari cartridges versus the ColecoVision cartridges, you can tell they're produced by somebody completely different. And the Atari was full of that, where the, you know, with Nintendo, most of the cartridges were the same color, they looked the same because they were all made in the same area. Nintendo published them all until, you know, Tengen came around. And then they had a silly rule in their thing that if you made a game for a Nintendo console, you were not allowed to put a version of the same game on a competitor's console. So Nintendo was like, if it's cool if you want to make Ninja Turtles, that's great, but you can't put that same game on a Sega console. So that's where you got, like, instead of Turtles in Time, you got Hyperstone Heist, because while it's basically, for the most part, I know there's some differences, the same game. Konami made sure they were making a different game, so they didn't have to. They would not be in. They didn't have the problem Nintendo had. You know, they didn't have a problem with Nintendo. But Sony was there. Sony came in and said, "We just want to be there for you to make more games cheaper, bigger games, more games cheaper, so you can make everything that you want to make, that were your heart desires." And you can do it on a lot cheaper and sell a lot more copies because it'll be a lot more cost affordable for your customers, which is exactly what they did to begin with. Sony ended up having some really dumb things that they did as well with the PlayStation 1, especially once they actually realized they had won. They started doing some weird shit where they had to capitulate to their publishers due to them trying to tighten their grip on their publishers. And I know that with the PlayStation 2, they got even sillier with some of that stuff and actually put some companies out of business because they couldn't afford to, they couldn't get anything approved through Sony's, they call it the PEG, board, you know, their approval board. You know, for a while, like, no dating sims were allowed on the PlayStation consoles at all. Even though they had Thousand Arms that they'd already put out there, even Thousand Arms does have dating sim elements in it. It's still a turn-based role-playing game, but it does have some dating sim stuff in it. It wasn't until late in the PlayStation 2 cycle where Sony started to lighten up a little bit and realize, yeah, there are people interested in dating sims. So that's where we got Sakura Wars and stuff like that. Finally, Sakura Wars, Sakura Taisen. But that was a fairly big deal to do that. But that's why Sony got away as much as they could. Like Symphony of the Night, could it have been on the N64? Maybe, but the soundtrack wouldn't have been as good. You know, there was a lot of things that they did. Let's go ahead and recover. There was a lot of things that they did that didn't carry over particularly well to their publishers. Nintendo was in a lot of trouble with a lot of their publishers towards the end of the Super Nintendo lifespan because of, you know, their business practices. The thing about having your own console like Nintendo and Sony and Microsoft have, the reason why they want to have those is because of publishing fees. Nintendo gets a cut of every Switch or Switch 2 game sold. Sony gets a cut of every PlayStation 5 game sold. Microsoft gets a cut of every Xbox game sold. And Nintendo raised their publishing costs, from what I understand, on their publishing partners, their marketing partners, but didn't raise them on themselves. So they went into one Christmas with, I think it was Earthworm Jim 2 came out, and Earthworm Jim 2 was $70 MSRP because they had to pay $10 to Nintendo, and Nintendo has their Donkey Kong Country there for $59.99. And I remember reading that the guy who's the head of Shiny, who is the Earthworm Jim developer publisher, was like, "How can you compete with that? How can you compete with a game company that does not have to pay their own licensing fees, and undercuts your game sales, your games by $10 with then they use their magazine, which they did, to promote Donkey Kong Country more than they did anything else." He was pissed, and he had a right to be pissed. So when Sony came by and said, "Hey, you don't like Nintendo, we have an alternative," they were pleased. They wanted part of it, and I can't blame them for it. No one should blame them for it. If you put a lot of time and effort into something and you make a good project, Earthworm Jim 2, while probably not as good as the first one, still was a quality product. And Aunt Janice goes to the grocery store with the list of games for you for Christmas, and she sees the two games that you have on the list are Donkey Kong Country and Earthworm Jim, and she sees that Donkey Kong Country is $10 cheaper than Earthworm Jim. What's she gonna buy? She's gonna get the one that's cheaper, of course. Not to mention, and nothing personal against Shiny or anybody involved with Earthworm Jim, Donkey Kong is much more recognizable as a game character, even at the time, than Earthworm Jim was. Even though Earthworm Jim had a cartoon show, Donkey Kong is Donkey Kong, And it doesn't mean the game is better or worse. I know there's probably people out there who think Earthworm Jim 2 is better than Donkey Kong Country, and you guys are welcome to have that opinion. I'm telling you from a marketing and business standpoint that when you have a marketing partner who is in charge, and they have a comparable a game that's competitive to yours, a product that's competitive to yours, and they undercut you because they can, and they don't have to pay what you're paying, they have an unfair advantage, it's going to piss you off, and I can't say I blame them whatsoever. And that's where Sony came in. Sony was like, "You're tired of that shit? Come to Butthead. We'll help you." And that's what they did. And it happens like that all the time with game companies. Something that happened in the console gaming space is we get console companies that get a little too big for their britches, where they kind of think that whatever they do is the most amazing thing, and they don't make mistakes, and they're going to put out what they want when they want to do it. And Sony had their comeuppance once. They might have another one coming up here pretty soon. Nintendo had a comeuppance. Sega technically never really had a comeuppance because they were always behind the eight ball as it was. And Microsoft is still in the middle of a comeuppance, quite honestly. They've never recovered from the Xbox One disaster that they put out. If people don't know what I'm talking about there, their reveal event for the Xbox One was Dan, I can't remember if it's Don or Dan Matrick, was their president and CEO at the time, gets up on stage and talks about the Xbox One and is much more interested in telling you all the TV tuner stuff it does instead of showing you all the games it can play. Well, if you are in an event like that, for a reveal of your console, your video game console, to your video game diehards are the ones who are there to watch, that are wanting to see the games, they're wanting to see the hardware, they're wanting to see that stuff. You're gonna turn around and spend half the presentation saying, "Look, it's a voice-activated TV tuner." and not show the games and not show anything. And then their digital thing that they did, where they were making you go digital, uh, didn't didn't hold over well with their audience, and they're still paying for that to this day. Yeah, I was hoping. Can I hit the hands at all? No. Hey, I got him. Finally got him. We're gonna go recover real quick before we go any further. Man, what did I... Oh. Damn. Who asked you for your help? I couldn't just leave you, could I? Don't think that you defeated it. It was the power of that whip. You could never beat me in training, never once. But Father named you the successor and gave you the Hunter Whip. Your parents and my father banished Dracula together, and those fond memories clouded his judgment. Don't forget that. He sounds like a little bitch. So if you're all curious as to why things broke down the way that they did, you can always go back and look at stuff like that. You know, Microsoft is still paying for the Xbox One. That is exactly what's going on. They tried to get console gamers to join this digital-only thing, and a large portion of the console audience still covets and desires physical media. And Microsoft was like, no, you don't. And the rest of us were like, yeah, we do. So we went ahead and turned okay, that'll work. And unfortunately, that's why it is the way that it's still that way right now. Is that you have Sony and Nintendo are still riding pretty high, even though they're starting to see some cracks in the armor there. But Microsoft is got a lot more cracks in their armor. Filed. So we didn't get a special power for beating that guy. We're down to 14,000, so... And you're going to find people that refuse to admit that that their favorite console company has messed anything up. They are usually really blinded by that. You know, I'm very much the type of person that believes every format, every console is worth owning for one game or another. Now that's starting to change. Microsoft is slowly becoming a third party. They might not admit to it. They might not tell you flat out, hey, we're really, moving. But I told you guys years ago that Starfield was going to be on PlayStation if it didn't sell as they wanted it to on Xbox, and guess what? I was 1,000% right. I said within a year, ended up being within 2 years, but they still did it. And you can always look at sales as being the reason why, and Microsoft. If Microsoft bought all those publishers and developers and was just to keep them under the Xbox umbrella and only put them on Xbox, they might have had a chance. But the truth is that their boxes, their console, their hardware has not been selling. So they've spent over $100 billion in getting these publishers and developers underneath under their umbrella. And then they turn around and try to make them all exclusive. Like, they may have Starfield was exclusive, but it didn't move consoles. It didn't move anybody. It didn't. People bought it. I bought it. It's not a great game, but they did what they thought they had to do with it, I guess. And it didn't end up moving the needle for them at all. At all. And they can hum and haw about that all they want to, but it comes down to, once again, we have companies out there that are giving the customer what the company wants and not giving the customer what the customer wants. And when that happens, you end up in a situation like Concord or Starfield or High Guard or any of these other games out there that, Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, these games that have come out that had huge, grandiose ideas and ended up, for lack of a better term, they end up shit in the bed. Big time, And they thought, Microsoft thought that the Game Pass was going to be their little ticket into their golden ticket to the chocolate factory, and it hasn't worked out that way at all. It would work just fine if you had any competition in that field, but the thing is that you have the PC crowd that already has Steam, which is a lot of customers love Steam. So even though you want some of that pie, truth of the matter is that that's gonna be very hard to wrestle away from Valve because of how many people love and adore the Steam platform. And you're not going to get anywhere with your Sony people because Sony's not going to allow Game Pass onto their console unless there is a partnership involved with it. Because if Sony has their own online service, and if Microsoft were allowed to put their online service on PlayStation platforms, it would pretty much be the death nail of the Sony one. So Sony's not stupid. Nintendo's not stupid. They probably won't allow it either. They won't allow it if they have any brains at all. And the worst thing you can do is assume that the PC market and the console market operate the same way. They don't. While they're similar, because they're both gaming markets, they are not the same. Where are we here? Okay. There's a whole other area up there I have not explored, and it's over here, but it's got the box, right? Yeah, and I can't. Still can't do anything with that. Ah, Alucard, you got nailed today, huh? I'm sorry to hear that, brother. You on your final break? Or are they gonna ask you to stay over for a little bit? Oh, crap. That's what I get for... Now I'm cursed. I got Danhausen. Well, hopefully it'll go by fast, brother. Get hit hard, that means that the time goes by a little faster usually. I can, yeah. Well, usually you come in a little earlier and say, hey, but when you're not, it's like, wow, he must be getting hit pretty hard. That's not... There's still something up there. And we're going to come out right there. Hey, that's awesome. Got Final Fantasy IV done. Yes, they are. Meridia and Edge are definitely glass cannons. Especially Edge. Edge would just get mauled. That's right, we've already done that. So there's nothing up there. That's just weird. Hey, Grizzled, good to see you. Thank you for coming in, brother. This goes over this way. Oop. I saw that happening and I still let it happen. Whoa! Didn't see that happening. Whoa! Didn't know I meant to fall all the way down there. Yeah, Edge is very glass cannon-y. And you're right, Rydia is too, but compared to... Oh gosh. compared to Edge. I mean, you kind of expect it with Rydia because she's a mage. Gold armor. Wow, that puts everything up. What about that gold armor? 460. See if I can survive this. Get to the save point. Look at that, I did not. It's the different one right below us. 1% drop rate. Yeah, that sounds about right. Whoa. Little bastards. So many of them. Might be. Hey! Yeah, those bloody swords are bloody swords. Solicit what? Like trying to get you to buy shit? Because I get that all the time. Buy viewers, buy this, buy that. It's like, I'm not doing it. Hell, I had a GFX artist come in one day. And basically try to insult me into buying things from them. And I was like, I'm not buying anything from you. Oh, but you need animated emotes. Well, then if I do, I'll get them when I'll make them myself when the time comes. I'm not buying anything from you. What, are you a fool? So how much longer you got for those doctor's appointments, Grizzled? I hope it's soon. Jeez. Yeah, when you're the thing is that I don't know if a lot of, and it's always a solicitor too. You're absolutely right. The thing is, if you're in the middle of a big battle or something, if you're paying attention to the game, yeah, you're not answering chat right away, and that's understandable. Ah. But these bloodsuckers, these GFX artists, or U-botters or whoever, they are... I mean, I understand they're trying to do a job, but it's like, come on, guys, really? Can't you see what's going on here? Yeah, you have too many. Oh. That was, not... Didn't know that was there, but that's not really what I need. Yeah, they do it. I get them on Twitter. I told you. I think I put on Twitter. I had someone send me a message on Twitter saying they could help me with get my VTuber model going, and it's like, I don't have a VTuber. I'm not a VTuber. And then I was getting emails from some chick who's like, I can help you promote your OnlyFans. It's like, I don't have an OnlyFans, and I never will have an OnlyFans. So do me a favor and go, do yourself a favor and go find someone who is more interested in that. Because ain't gonna be me. They are too pushy. I understand that they have, you know, we all have jobs to do. You know, I understand that, and believe me, I would love to be in a situation where I'm not sitting here begging people to support me on different platforms. They just do it because they want to do it, like you guys do. But, oh, jeez. I just don't see the appeal to trying to insult your way into getting into someone's good graces. You know, I had one guy one time look at my logo and says, your logo looks jank. I was like, well, it looks bad. And I said, well, I made it, so. And he goes, well, you hired somebody to make it. No, I made that myself. So thank you so much for insulting my artwork, my work. Hey there, Arto TV. Good to see you. Thank you for coming in. I've just gotten to the point where I'm not, you know, the thing is they always go around to, and I'm pretty sure that a lot of those a lot of those people that do that are part of the same outfit. Like I would not be shocked to see that they are all part of the same character, because I remember one was I was making small talk with me. So well, thank you, Alucard. I do try. He didn't like it. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. But I was, you know, talking with one time, and they said, you know, I'll do some GFX work for you, and I was like, I don't need GFX work. Oh, sure you do. You need this, you need that. It's like, no, I really don't. I already have that. So then they go through all my stuff, and they go, well, you don't have any animated emotes, so you need animated emotes. It's like, I really don't need animated emotes. Well, yes, you do. Well, you're telling me that, but do I really? Oh, crap. But they move between. I get all the, you know, it's. One I was talking with one time, I said, no, I don't need it. And I said, what I need is what I need to do is learn how to edit. And they said, oh, you need an editor? I can edit. I'm thinking, I thought you were a GFX artist, so now you're telling me you're an editor as well? No, I don't think so, Tim. Yep, already been here. I am lost as lost can be. I guess I'm at the point where I understand people are trying to do a job, you know, regardless of where they're from, you know. And granted, I'm pretty sure they didn't have the location for X when they were on there, but I'm pretty sure they were from India. You know, I understand we're all trying to do a job, make a little bit of money and, you know, make our way in the world. I understand that completely. But, you get pushy about your shit, and you go from, oh, you're from GFX. Oh, not you want an editor? I can edit. Oh, you need view botting. I can do that too. It's like I don't want any of that, quite honestly. Oh, cool. So that broke that down. Oop. Another one of those. Not there either. But the guy who called my logo bad probably didn't know any better, more than likely. And that's usually what happens, is the whole shaming you into trying to buy shit from them is really aggravating. And they're like, what do you mean you don't need my help? I mean, I don't need your help. Crap, that's how you're supposed to do it, I think. Okay, well, I'm gonna have to... Oh, Wisp, what's up? You getting done? Hmm? Oh. You squeeze under there, do we? I mean, a heart refill, with, or heart increase. Ah. Hmm. Thought I hit that guy already. Well, I joke around and say that I'm ugly and all that, and I mean that mostly as a joke. I don't think I'm gonna win any beauty contests, but I mean it mostly as a joke. And I don't think a lot of people get that, but and again, I understand the whole mentality of trying to generate sales, but you're not going to get there by shaming your potential customer into it. I don't know who thought that was a good idea, but it's not. Intelligence ring. It'd be nice if we could get a better whip. Ooh, a strength ring. I have no idea where I'm going yet. Just 11,000 away. Can't tell. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. I see there's... Okay, that one did go away, so... But I can't get in there. So they put one thing in front of another. That's stupid. I do need to recover. Yeah, thought so. There we go. Get our health back. Well, I'm not going to pretend like if I would have hired someone to make the logo that I have that it wouldn't be better, you know. But it would have cost a hell of a lot more than I would have wanted to have paid, and what I paid for this one is nothing. So as far as I'm concerned, that's the perfect price, and that looks good for what what I've done. Oh gosh. Okay, that water hurts. That's all I'm saying. That you can do things on your own like that, and everything is you know, the cheapest. Yeah, I don't think I'm ready to be down there. There's something I'm missing. Because there's no way I should be, like, absorbing that water like that. You know, maybe we'll get to a point where if I become big enough, I'll get someone to improve my logo. But I'm damn sure not on the market to do it right now. Okay, let's see. Crap, oh, I got poisoned. Okay, this might be... Oh, I have been here before because there was something on there, right? Yeah. Let's see what's on the other side. Can I get up the other side now that I've got the wall jump and all that? Oh no. Those brain floats. I get the feeling I'm supposed to ride those or something, but... Exactly. Pardon me. I've invested quite a bit of money into streaming. You know, the capture cards alone are not cheap. Not to mention, you know, getting your crap, your stuff. You know, it's just it's not cheap to get started. And these people think they're just gonna waltz in and swindle you out of a couple $100. Crap. Well, isn't there... I don't think I can get up over there. Now we can get up. We're going to probably come out there at some point. Yeah, I gotta learn to edit. That's one thing I need to do. YouTube's all about shorts right now, and I just don't have the ability to make shorts. Oh, I fell all the way down here. That's right. I got Tomby makes a lot of music in AI, and I asked him how he got it, how he did it, because everyone seemed to have walk-up music, and I was like, that's actually really cool. So I asked him what it is, and he gave me the name of the AI thing, and it's not cheap to get a song, but because you have to pay for like a year subscription to start downloading music or something like that. But I'm pleased with the music. You know, it's a cool song. Okay, where the hell am I? All right. But I'd really like to get like animated intros and stuff like that. I mean, I know my current one is animated, but it's a stock one I pulled off of a free website. So having something more me would be really neat. The starting and ending screens. All right, so we did that. We did that. I see those 4 places over there, but I don't think we can get in there, but it's okay. We'll look. Really? Crap, give me back my axe. And that's the one we went to with the statues destroyed, but that's it. There's a box on the other side of it I can't do anything with yet. Interesting. Let's go up the other way. See what's over there. Yeah, sorry if anyone's looking for an expert run through this. That's not... I did that with Soten. And I'm not an I'm pretty good at it, but I am by no means as good as other people. This is very much going to be a... it's not blind, but it might as well be. But he does move really slow. Doesn't have near the options for maneuverability that Alucard has from Soten. Or Alucard from Amazon, you know, same thing. Oh wait, I know where that is up there. Never mind. And I am going the wrong way, so to go up to the other side. Under 10,000 experience points to go for a level up. Where are we now? Uh-huh. Try that. Nope. Okay, let's see. We're up here. I don't know if we can get up there. We'll try. Looks like we come down from up there, not up. His the whip, the slowness of his whip is what really makes it a challenge. Alright, so now we're up here. I know, Whisk. You're yawning a lot for someone who sleeps for 20 plus hours a day. Alright, so now we're back up here. No, I really don't know, but we're trying. Basically, he yawns like he's gone through a great big long shift with Alucard at Amazon. It's like, dude, you're a dog. You've slept all day. Okay, from there we have to come out. There's no way up from there. Check out the other side. He is a little dork, that is for certain. Let's... Actually, we can fast travel over there. Oh, well, I can break that. I already have. That's where I wanted to fast travel to, so... Oh, okay, now he's had enough. He's like, I've had enough of your shit, Dad. I'm going to go over here now and lay down. So, he's kind of sensing that there's going to be a sunbeam in the window, I think. There's not one there yet, but it is supposed to be partly sunny today and warmer, so... Warmer to the point where at lunchtime I might go take a walk. I need to walk more. Wintertime makes me feel like a big fat pig, and I really want to. Not that I work out, but I want to get somewhat healthier. And the only way that's going to happen is by getting back into walking. Okay, this is the foyer. We don't need to go there. There we go, up there, over there, okay. That's a dead end, isn't it? Yep. Okay. Okay. He's got his eyes on something out there. He's not woofing, but he's watching something. He really wants to meet a squirrel. Anyone who has a dog, I don't know if you guys have the same issue I do. Dogs tend to be, they are bred for certain things. A lot of them, and looking cute is not something that usually they're bred for. They might look cute, they might be adorable, but a lot of them are bred to be working dogs of some sort. And good luck getting that out of them, because if they are there to hunt down rodents, if that's why they were bred, and they see what they perceive as a rodent, they're going to go after them. They're going to want to go after him, and that's kind of what Whiskey does. Is he wants to, let me guess, a box. Yeah. He wants to go out there and meet a squirrel. And since he was a stray, the reason why he wants to meet a squirrel is probably because he has dined upon one a time or two in his day. Just saying. I know it's gross. People don't want to talk about it. But that's what dogs do. And cats, for that matter. Good luck getting a cat not to go after a rodent of some kind. I don't know. Try it though. Crap. Back my damn... Ah! It's up there. Oh, your ass. Oh, no! That sucked. Perfectly placed Medusa head. I just couldn't do anything about it. Ah. Yeah, piss off, game. That's another MP increase. Not really what I wanted. I was hoping to go somewhere else. I don't know, this doesn't look like where I need to be. Wait a minute. That's definitely not where I want to be. Since we did get that increase. Let's do it to it, baby. Okay, now we got that. I'm gonna go back to the warp zone, I think. Let's go back to that warp zone. Or the wrong way to the warp zone. I was just there. See, this is kind of where I think I need to be. because we just got stuff here. And I don't think this is it. And that's because it's really not. There's got to be another power we're missing to get up there. I'm about to level again. And those are worth quite a bit. So yeah, it's 35,000 is where we are now. Come on. Bastard. Yeah, they're worth quite a bit, so doesn't hurt to as long as they get close enough to hit them all down before they throw those damn electric balls out. Okay, that's not too bad. Let's get ourselves some. See, I was away. I was just a hair away from him, and he managed to get a electric ball off. Go. I'm already down to 22, so that's not a bad little hallway there for getting some XP up. So I'm thinking this weekend I'm going to do a Rumble Premium stream at least one of the days. I need to get 5 hours in for Rumble Creator Program. And I'm either going to... I've been spending time in Borderlands 4 farming for a new bod. I might do that. But there'll be some times also I'm thinking where I'll do some really other... You know, like I want to play like the original Zelda again. Spend some time doing that. Maybe a Link to the Past, since that's my favorite one. But just kind of do some fun stuff on these Rumble Premium streams that are just kind of old school. This is an old school, but blast from the past either. But we'll see. I'm still farming Axmal for a level 60 bod. I've gotten bods from him. He's dropped them, but in Borderlands 4, but he's not dropped one better than the one I've got that's a level 50. So it's like I'm not gonna. If you're not gonna make me change, I'm not gonna change. But if I'm gonna get to Ultimate Vault Hunter Mode 6 at some point, which is gonna consist of me beating the Bloom Reaper, the raid boss, I need to get all my equipment needs to be level 60, so we shall see. See, we're down to 3,000, so that's not a bad farm right there. Okay, so now 42,000. Yeah, takes us. They're worth quite a bit. Steel armor. The night suit is good. What's the steel armor offer? Strength goes down 20. Defense goes up 60. That makes you thicker. And we're still taking them down 3 hits, so it's not that big of a difference here. I'll just take less damage when they hit me. Or, yeah. Doing badly. Down to 20. So we've already cut that in half just with the few little runs we've done here. Are we level 30 yet? Yeah, 32. Da, 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 da. Yeah, it is just another learning curve, and I need to get into that. That was one of my New Year's resolutions, was to learn how to edit and get all that going for shorts. Ah, no, don't hit me! Even though I don't watch shorts, that's the thing, is I really don't even watch them. They bring them up on YouTube all the time, and it's like, I don't want to see someone talk about something I want to know for 20 seconds. I want to watch more on it. Oof. But I'll get better at it. I will learn how to do it. It's not like it's... From what I understand, if you use, like, Meld or Streamlabs, it's not... Or even YouTube Studio, it's not that difficult. Missed all 3 shots. Damn it. That goes 74. 7,300. Okay, I do see there's a place to save close, so that won't be a bad thing at all. Here we go. There's our level up. Now we're at 45. Now we're worth about 800 now. So still worth our time. But it's diminishing returns. As we level up, they will become worth less and less XP, to where they're not worth farming anymore. That didn't show up on my thing. Of course, I want to thank folks for helping me on Rumble with the viewers. I really do appreciate that. The unique chatters, the viewers, all that. We are in pretty decent shape for the rest of the month. If it continues the way that it is, we should be... We are almost halfway there, and it's only April the 8th, so that's good. I've got... The only thing else that I can control is the premium hours. I need 5 of those, and I said we'll start that this weekend. Uncle Martin, good to see you. Thank you for coming in, brother. How's you doing today? 33. So they're worth 800. They're still worth farming. Bloodstained is a lot of fun. Bloodstained is everything Iga learned from doing Castlevania, Metroidvanias for so long, and putting it all into one nice little package. He did a great job with that. Can't wait for the sequel. Do yourself a favor and make sure you get that best weapon in the game, because that thing makes it just chews everything up. Well, I hate the... Oh, crap. I hate to sound like I don't know a lot about it, because I don't, but from what I understand, Unreal is somewhat easy to use, so... This weapon is the vampire killer whip. Yep, vampire killer. It's the family heirloom of the Belmont family, used for wiping out vampires. It is slow, and but it has a long reach. We can't change the weapon though. This is the weapon we have to use. We can augment it with cards, but it is very much the only weapon we have access to in this game. That's the nice thing about like Bloodstained, and the nice thing about a couple of other Castlevanias, Symphony of the Night in particular, is that you're not beholden to any one weapon. You can change it at will. If it still says Bloodstained on my Rumble thing here, it's not. I don't know how to get that off of there. They don't list any Castlevania games for secondary gaming in their thing, and that kind of bugs me. If Rumble is listening, you guys need to pad out your gaming list there. There's a hell of a lot more games out there than what you have listed on your secondary thing for gaming. Retro? I can do a retro? Okay. I hate to say this game is retro, but it probably is. Let's take... I hit the button. Not a big deal. Yeah, I'm ready. Let's just take a look here. Gaming. So retro, you say, under secondary. Come on. Retro. There we go. Yeah, thank you. Save changes. There we go. Thank you. I didn't know retro was on there. I'm glad it is. It just... They still need to put Castlevanias up there, though. There's not one Castlevania game I saw listed on the Rumble games there. I was flabbergasted by that. Oh, crap. It's lunchtime. My bladder is just letting me have it, too. Where are we at? 7,400. So we'll get a level up here when we get back. Let's take a peek up here. Am I following this person? I am. Good. Let's go over here. Who is online? Now, What the hell is Abe watching? Huh? Actually, let's go ahead and raid him while I go to lunch. So give me a second here, guys. We're going to raid out. And I'm going to go to lunch. And I'll be back here in about an hour. So let's raid. So you guys stick around. I'll be back here in about 1 hour, okay? We'll pick up right here where we're leaving off with Castlevania.